1, 2, 3, 4. Hi, welcome to lessonswithtroy.com. I'm Troy Brenningmeyer. Well, in this week's Dobro lesson, we're in open G tuning, but we're in the key of D. So open G tuning, but in the key of D for the tune, Make Me a Pallet on Your Floor. So if you have your tablet, you're going to print it out and set it on a stand in front of you. And what you heard in the sample, I start off by playing a little intro. Starting with the 1 chord, then going to a major 3 chord, and then 4 chord, and then a pretty cool little diminished chord where you just raise the root of your 4 chord up a half step, and it gives you a diminished chord up a half step from your 4 chord. So I'll explain that and show you that in the lesson, but let's go ahead and get started here with Make Me a Pallet on Your Floor in the key of D, but in open G tuning, GBD, GBD. Okay, so my arrangement of this tune is in kind of a country blues style, reminiscent of Mississippi John Hurt or Doc Watson. They have really cool versions of this tune as well. And what you're doing is you're going to be doing an alternating bass style. So your thumb's going to be keeping your rhythm. And I'll show you this little part of this intro here. There's where that diminished chord is that I was talking about. So once again, alternating bass style. There's no jam track with this one. I might include a couple performance tracks that you can play along with, but this is more of like what I think of like more of a solo dobro piece or something where you can really have fun playing it by yourself because you're doing all the parts. You're doing the bass, you're getting the chords, and you're getting part of that melody in there too. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. If you have your tab, we're going to check out measures 1 and 2, the first 2 measures, but there's a lot going on in just those first 2 measures. Once again, we're in the key of D, and let's just review the key of D for just a second. The key of D has 2 sharps. We're going to have an F sharp and a C sharp in the key of D, but let's review our chords in the key of D. Okay, our 1 chord is a D chord, our 4 chord is a G, and our 5 chord is an A chord. Okay, so this intro starts off with a 1 chord to a major 3 chord. Okay, the major 3 chord would be, here's D, or 1, here's E, or 2, and here's F sharp. That'll be our 3. Normally in the key of D, F sharp would be a minor chord, but in this key, or in this case, we're going to make that a major chord, so an F sharp major. So D, 1 to 3, F sharp, 11th fret, to a G chord, open, to a G sharp diminished chord. Okay, it sounds real fancy, but really all you're doing to get a G sharp diminished is just raising the root of your G chord, okay, and then still playing your normal 5th of your G chord, your 3rd, and your 5th. Because what that gives you is, in a G sharp chord, that would give you a flat 3rd here and a flat 5 on top. But in like a finger style arrangement, you hear that a lot. They'll go to that 4 chord and then they'll just bump that root note up a little bit to give you a diminished chord up a half step. So the intro measures 1 and 2 would sound like this. Okay. So that's our intro. Let me show you that. So we got a D chord. And check out that alternating bass. So I'm just picking my 2nd string and 6th string together with thumb and middle finger, and then doing thumb on my 4th string, and then index on my 3rd. And check out that rhythm there. Okay, then the next part, you go back to your 6th string with your thumb, and then 2nd string with your middle, and then thumb on your 4th string. So that's all over that D chord. So my suggestion is just to take each little part. If you're having trouble with the alternating bass, take each little section of that and just loop it. That's just over that D chord, that 1 chord. Okay, now we move to our major 3 chord here for the F sharp major. And that's on fret 11. And you're picking your 6th string and your 3rd string together. And then index on your 4th string, thumb on your 5th, middle on your 3rd. So you get that. Thumb on your 6th string, index on your 4th, thumb on your 5th string. So that's all over that 3 chord there. So basically your thumb is just alternating on your 6th and your 5th string. And if you notice how the thumb, where it falls rhythmically, is it's going to fall on the 8th notes. So I've got this written out in 16th notes. So your thumb will be going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and as far as where it's going to hit. And sometimes it may hit on your 6th and your 4th string. And sometimes it may hit on your 6th and your 5th string. But that thumb is always keeping that 8th note pulse if you're got it subdivided into 16th notes. Okay, then in measure 2 you go to your 4 chord, your G chord, which is open. That's just picking your 6th and your 1st string together. And then you pick your 4th and your 1st string together. And then once again your 6th and your 1st together again. And then index is going to play that open 2nd string. And once again you're bringing your thumb on your open 4th string. Check out that rhythm. 1 and 2 E and 1 and 2 E and. Like I said, just try to, if you have trouble with rhythm, get each little half of the measure, where you're on the chord for half a measure, and just loop it. Make sure you have that in rhythm. Okay, then that G sharp diminished chord. That's just first fret, 6th string, and an open 1st string. Open 4th string, open 2nd, 6th string, open 1st, open 4th. So your thumb's going to be playing that 6th string and 4th string, alternating. Okay, so let's show you what I got so far. So here's a D chord. And then your F sharp chord, your major 3 chord. Oop. And then your G chord. And then your G sharp diminished. Putting the whole thing together, it'd sound like this. That slower. Let me play it again. 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and move on to the other half of that intro.